Hey everybody, Sean Holsinger here from HolsingersFlyShop.com. Bringing another fly for you this week. This one's a local favorite around here. Sulfurs are coming off right now. This is a great fly to match the sulfur to nymph. If you're nymphing, not my point fly. This is usually my dropper fly. It's called the pocket picker. We have been catching a lot of fish on it lately. It's a really good match for a light-colored mayfly style of nymph. Very small. I typically tie these on 14s, 16s. Really, I don't go much bigger than a 14. I'll tie them down into 18s a lot too. Anytime you have a lighter colored mayfly coming off, this is a good fly to match it. Like I said, a lot of the local guys here in my area, central Pennsylvania area, fish this fly. And it's one of my favorites. I typically have it on. Like I said, typically it's one of my droppers. So sit back and watch, and I hope you enjoy this. Alright, the fly here we're going to tie now is called the pocket picker. Like I said, the sulfurs are coming off hot and heavy in our area right now, and this is great sulfur imitation. So it's a yellow style fly, yellow colored fly, and imitates a mayfly real well. Any small insect. We're going to tie this on a size 18 in Firehole 633 hook. And for the bead, I'm going to use a black nickel 7/64 or a 3mm bead. And the barbless hook on this. And we're just going to start out just a couple pieces of material on this. You can weight this a little bit if you want. Actually, we'll put a couple wraps in it just for the sake of holding the bead in place. I usually like to put a couple wraps and then shove it up inside the bead head there in the back side of the bead, and it kind of holds it in place. And like I said too, I'm doing a lot of Euro style nymphing, and in the Euro style nymph technique, all the weight is in her fly. I'm not putting any split shot on my line, so any extra weight I can get, I try to add it to my flies. So we're going to cover it up with our thread there. For the thread, I'm using 140 denier watery olive is the color, and it's actually, you'll see this here when I'm done. I'm going to hit this with a UV light. Actually, I can show you right now. You can see how that glows when you hit it with a UV light. You guys that are into the UV stuff, this is a great fly for this. For the tail, I'm going to use some Coq de Leon medium Pardo. And again, just a couple strands of it, like 6-8 strands. This is a small fly, so you don't need a lot of fibers. You can go as few as you want. I tend to go a little bit bigger than most guys. I like to make sure I can see the tail, I guess, just personal preference. And we want the tail no longer than the length of the body, as always. That's your standard guide for tails. Okay, and then we're going to cut our tag off. And the whole time we're building a taper from the back to the front. So we want to be small in the back here. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of thread, fluorescent orange thread, and I'm just going to tie it in. I'm not putting it on the bobbin or anything. I'm just tying a tag of it in. And I'm going to wrap it back right to the tailing material there. And I'll just wrap this forward, cover up that thread. Then I'm going to take this orange and I'm going to make just a little tag on the butt here. Just all we're going to do is put enough of it back there that orange shines through real good. Okay? You're only going to make it like, I don't know, about 2-3 wraps wide at the very most. You don't want it very big. And then I'll actually cover it up a little bit with the thread just to make sure it's the size that I want it. And we'll cut that tag off, so you don't have to, like I said, you don't have to put that on with your bobbin. You can just put it on with a scrap piece of thread. You can see there, let me get my light backed up a little bit. It's putting a lot of glare on it there, but you can see the tail, the tag there, how much of that, about how much you want. Okay, next thing I'm going to do, this is my version of it, I should say. I do it a little bit differently. I wouldn't say lack of material, but it's just the way that I prefer to do it. It's a little easier. You know, I like to do things as easy as I can so I can tie as fastly as I can. So I spend more time fishing, less time tying. But the way I do it is a little bit different. I use lead wire for the ribbing on this. I do not use, oh, I forget what's originally used on it. It's kind of like sulky material. And the thing that I don't like about that is it tends to, for me, it tends to spin around and it doesn't stay in position. I'm going to use some black brassy wire, and then I'm going to also take a piece of small silver wire, and I'm going to tie that in right beside it. So I have two pieces of wire on here, with the black one being bigger than the silver one, and I'll achieve the same exact effect that I would have got by tying it the way that the other guys tie it, but it's a little bit more durable, and you know, the fish isn't going to tear this up. Okay, now you can see how I got a nice even shape there to it, and now we're going to start ribbing this, and the rib on this is going to go in front of that orange tag. So when I tie these down, I tie it back to the orange tag. I don't tie past it. Now I'm just going to make a nice even rib up through here, and I'm only going to get, on a size 18, I'm only going to get like 3 wraps is all I'm going to get a nice even rib. And then we'll tie it off and just helicopter it off, and then I'm going to come in with my silver and I'm going to lay it right up tight against that black. So you have a two-tone rib there. And like I said, it's sulfur season here at the shop. This fly has been catching a lot of fish for me and Pat that comes into the shop all the time. Pat swears by this fly and catches a lot of fish for him. For dubbing, for the little collar on this, what I'm going to use is some just some hare's ear. Just a little bit of hare's ear we'll do on this. This is a size 18, so we're going to go very, very sparse on it. I'm going to wax my thread and then just dub a little bit, just a little tiny bit of dubbing on there. Slide it up and we'll make just a couple wraps there, a little bit too much. Pull some off. And when I pull dub off like that, I always spin it back once and tighten it down and make a nice tight ending to my dubbing there. Okay, then we'll come in, finish that up, and then wrap it right in behind the bead and tie it off. And that is all that's to this fly. Very simple fly, and it's catching a lot of fish right now. So give this fly a try. Like I said, it's only a couple simple pieces of material, some watery olive thread, a little bit of dubbing, and 2 pieces of wire and some tail. So hope you enjoy this video. As always, you know, I really enjoy bringing them to you and making them every week for you. So give this fly a try. All the material you need to tie it you can find at holsingersflyshop.com. And give us a shout if you have any questions. If you want to know anything else about the flies, let us know, and I'll be sure to answer them for you. Thanks again for watching, everybody. I'm Sean Holsinger.